musician. So I like to combine those things together because both music and movement are so helpful and healthy for our bodies, our souls, and our minds. So combining those two is my passion. So we're going to start off with the movement part by just getting comfortable in our chair. So this is chair yoga. You can do it in any kind of chair. However, if the chair has no arms, it's a little bit easier to navigate through the poses. So just getting comfortable in our chair. That can mean leaning back against it, or if you want to sit forward. Important is that we have our feet on the floor. Preferable to have bare feet or stocking feet, but if you have your shoes on, that's okay too. Bare feet is extra good because we really can stimulate all the many nerve endings that are in the soles of the feet. So it kind of gives our organs and the rest of our body a gentle massage by feeling our feet on the floor. Having said that, let's just sink them into the floor, leaning back against a chair or sitting straight, whatever is the most comfortable, and just sinking into the seated position. Hands can be palm up or palm down, whatever feels most natural for you and most comfortable right now. Yoga is all about being in the moment. So maybe what felt good yesterday might feel a little different today. So being where you are at today, right now, in this moment. So as we're sitting, excuse me, we're bringing our attention to the breath. Taking some big breaths in, exhaling them out. Beginning to feel what that breath does in our body. Noticing when we breathe in, of course, there's an expansion. And when we exhale, there's a beautiful release. Bringing our focus to that breath. If it feels good and is helpful, we can rest a hand on the chest, one on the belly. Sometimes that just brings our attention a little more to the breath. Either way, hands here or on the knees, whatever feels best. Just taking some beautiful breaths in, letting our eyes gently close or the gaze become soft as we listen and feel the breath. Maybe we're becoming aware of our heartbeat. Can we feel our heartbeat? Can we hear our heartbeat? And just taking stock as we sit, how our body feels. Is there some grumpiness, some achiness somewhere today that's showing up? A place that's getting a little bit noisy? If so, just sending some extra love and intention and energy to that spot, accepting it with love. It's all good. No judgment. And if any time during our practice today, if the word should come up for you, I should be doing that, oh, I should be able to lift my arms higher, let's take that should word and just set it over there, because it has no place in our practice today. There's no such word in yoga. It's all about how we feel right now and what's available to us. It's so accepting and so healthy. A couple more big breaths. Now taking an inhale as we take our gaze to the left side of our body as we breathe in. Let's exhale our gaze back to center. Inhale to the other side and exhale back to the middle. One more time to the first side as we inhale and we exhale and we inhale and we exhale. Great. Now let's drop one ear to the shoulder. Take a breath there, just letting the weight of that head drop to one side, breathing it back to center and over to the other side. Very gentle here. Maybe the opposite shoulder wants to kind of lower down. If we press it down a little, we feel a little more of a stretch. Let's breathe it back to center. One more time, the first side. Again, the opposite shoulder can just kind of drop down away from the ear. Back to the middle. And exhaling to that second side. And back to the middle. Beautiful. Now here you have an option if you like to scooch forward a little bit to the front of the chair. If that feels stable for you, it might enable us to straighten our backs a little bit more. So with a nice tall straight spine and our hearts nice and lifted upwards, we're going to breathe in as we lift up our arms. Only as high as I want to go today. We'll exhale them down. My hands are going off the screen, but they're just lifting above me. We're going to inhale them back up. Lots of energy today. And exhaling them down. Feels so good to breathe deeply. Let's inhale back up. This time as we exhale, we'll drop the right hand on the left knee. I'm going opposite to you. And we're taking our gaze just behind us, dropping that back arm on the back of the chair. Looking behind us, noticing our back shoulder dropping down. Feeling our feet on the floor. Taking a breath. Let's breathe our hands back up through center. Exhale to the other side. Hand on knee, back arm on the back of the chair, and we're taking our gaze behind us. And we're breathing. Let's do one more to each side. Inhaling our hands up to the middle. Exhaling them down. Maybe we could look a little further over our shoulder. Inhaling up and exhaling down that second side. Very nice. Back to center. Perfect. Now we're going to inhale our shoulders up. Exhale, drop them down into our back pockets. Poof, down our backs. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. I'm kind of rolling mine a little bit. Kind of bring them up and forward. Exhaling them back. One more time. Beautiful. Now with our back there, squeeze our shoulder blades together. Maybe you want to take our hands behind our hips. Just open up those shoulders, lift up our hearts. Nice and tall. Great. Let's bring our hands now to the top of our legs. Pressing with our hands into our upper thigh. Lifting our heart, straightening our spine. Lifting the crown of our head to the ceiling. Now adding something with our feet, we're going to press our feet into the earth. Noticing this simple little movement, how active it is. Noticing what's going on with your muscles. Let's release it. We'll inhale again as we press the hands and the feet in. Lift our heart, straighten our spine, shoulders are back. We're pressing. Using our own body strength to get a good resilience here. Good resistance. Releasing it. We'll do one more of those as we press our feet, press our hands into our legs. Straighten our spine, resisting. And exhaling. All right, with our hands in this position, let's press a little bit again into our upper legs as we lift our gaze and lift our hearts, breathing in. Exhale, let's round the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, rolling over, taking our head down towards our knees. We'll inhale that back up as we lift our hearts, lift our gaze. This is called cat-cow position. Exhale, rounding the spine like we're tucking our tails underneath us. Feeling the spine rolling, breathing back up. Notice how good this feels for the spine. We're sending lots of oxygen to those jelly discs in between each individual vertebrae. Sending energy there, giving them flexibility. Exhaling it down. Very nice. And inhaling it up. Super. Let's place our fingertips, kind of like little crabby fingers, on our shoulders and just drawing little circles in the air with our elbows as we're breathing. Breathing in and out, big circles. And when we're ready, we can change direction. Take the circles the other way. Shoulders opening up here. Again, if you have a sore shoulder, just take it way smaller. Take your range of motion to where it feels good in your shoulder. Maybe you have one sore shoulder, then just, you could do a single shoulder. Whatever you need here, just take it. You do you. Nice. All right, let's open those elbows out and we'll bring them together. Let's release the hands. Bringing the elbows together. Open them up. And together. All right, we're straightening our spine. We're lifting our hearts. Open them up. And close them together. Let's open them again. Nice and tall. We'll breathe them up. Spider hands above your screen. Believe me, my hands are open like spiders. Exhale down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up, stretching. Inhaling up. I got big spider hands. Inhaling up. Exhale down. And let's let those hands come to our side. Shake them out. Feels good. Alrighty, taking the left knee over the right. Our cross, sitting in the chair, cross-legged kind of position, which we so often do, right? Placing the other hand on the cross knee, grabbing onto the chair for stability, and we're just looking over that shoulder. Taking our gaze behind us, noticing our spines are so long. That back shoulder is dropped down away from the ear, and we're breathing. Nice. Back to the middle. Let's just lift that bottom heel up and down. Let's breathe it up and down and up and down and up. Maybe you want to add some arms. Bring them up and down. You want to bring them higher and down. Take your version with or without the arms. Let's do 4 more. 4, 3, 2 or little half ones. 1. Nice job. Now let's invite this bottom ankle to just come up and rest on the top of that opposite knee. Sitting nice and tall. Noticing how this really opens up that hip. This might be enough just like this. If it's too much, we can support that leg underneath. Taking your version, using the arm for support or resting it on top. If this feels really comfy and good, we want a little more, we can try lifting that bottom heel and immediately the stretch goes a little bit deeper. If we want even more, we can just scooch forward, invite our chest towards that front foot, deepening the stretch. Find your version. Very nice. Let's release that. Drop that foot back to the floor. Let's just wiggle our knees out, kind of like windshield wipers. Opening and closing. Let's grab onto the chair. Just move a little bit side to side. Alrighty, planting that other foot now on the earth, crossing over the other way. Nice and tall through our spines. We'll start by inhaling that heel up and down. 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 Let's make a fist with our hands and bring them up. Some bicep curls. My shoulders are squeezed together at the back. I'm adding resistance. We can palm it, open it, palm it. Breathing the whole time. Spines are straight. Our hearts are lifted. We're breathing. Nice job. Let's do 4 more, everybody. Let's do 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Now taking the opposite hand on the knee, grabbing onto the chair for stability. We'll just take our gaze behind us into the twist. Breathing, of course, noticing our straight spines, noticing our lifted hearts, noticing our shoulders dropping down away from the ears. 1 more breath. Let's bring that back to the middle and invite that front leg to uncross, placing the foot on the top of the knee. Again, inviting our spines to be straight. If you want support under that knee, by all means, use an arm there. Noticing the beautiful opening of that hip. If we want a little more, an option to lift that lower heel, deepening the stretch, If we want even more, we can tip our chests forward towards that front ankle. And we're breathing, breathing, breathing. Awesome. Let's release that. Bring that foot down. Let's just wiggle out a little bit. Now grabbing onto the chair for stability, we're just scooching our legs over to face one side. I'm doing the opposite mirror version of you. So I'm going to say I'm going to the right. Now moving this other foot just back. Maybe we want to stop here. Keep hold of the chair for stability so you feel nice and safe. Now I've got two right angles going here. I've got this knee going straight down, and I've got my front right angle as well. This might be plenty. If we want more, we can slowly invite that back leg into a stretch, into a straight leg. Taking up lots of space here, hanging onto the chair, breathing. This might be just plenty. If we want more and you feel stable, we can open up our arms with our palms down and look over that front middle finger. This is called Warrior Two pose. Just breathing. Taking 2 more breaths in our warrior, reaching with our hands, stretching our feet farther apart. 1 more breath. Now taking your elbows forward onto that front knee, either here, or if you want to go a little lower, take it to where it feels comfortable and safe and accessible for you. Of course, we can still be holding on to the chair with one hand. Let's slowly rise up, grab the chair for stability. Holding on with this hand with the chair, we're slowly bringing this leg back. Walking our feet forward to face the front. Grab onto the chair so you feel safe and stable. Let's just open up a little bit, bring our heels a little bit in, pressing our hands against the inside of the knee, rolling our shoulders back, and just using a bit of resistance here. And pressing with the right hand, I'm just inviting that shoulder down towards the knee and looking at the other side. A little bit of a twist here. Let's breathe that back up. Do the other side, pressing the other hand against the inside of the knee, dropping your chest towards the opposite knee. Breathing it back up. Let's do 1 more each side. Taking your chest towards that knee. My elbows are bending. I'm moving kind of fluidly here, and then to the other side. Breathing back up to center, facing the front, and we'll slowly, first grabbing onto the chair, scooch our legs to the other side. So we're facing the side of the chair, holding on for stability, inviting that back foot back. So we have 2 right angles happening again. Very stable on the chair, holding on tight. This might be enough. We're lifting our hearts, we're straightening our spines. If this feels good, we want a little more challenge. We can slide that back leg into a straighter position, keeping our chest lifted. This might feel perfect. If we want more, we can open our arms, palms down, reaching into that warrior pose, or maybe just the front arm. Find your version, whatever feels good in your shoulders, in your back. You can hang on to the chair with 1 arm, just finding a good version of this warrior for you. Taking 1 more breath. Now bending those elbows on that front knee, taking it to where it feels comfortable, either here, or we can drop farther down onto the knee with our chest. Lovely, let's bring that back up. Grabbing onto the chair for stability, We're scooching our way, working our feet back towards the front, facing the front, with our feet flat on the floor once again where we started. Let's put our hands back on our legs. We'll press those hands once more into the thighs as we lift our hearts, lift our gaze, and exhale down into another sequence of our cat-cow. Breathing it up, exhaling it down. Inhaling up, exhaling down, feeling the feet on the floor. We can push them into the floor if you want for a little more resistance. Inhaling up and exhaling, rounding the spine, tucking our tails. Now let's drop our heads down right between our knees, letting our hands slide down our legs. Coming to a forward fold with our head relaxed. Taking deep breaths. Beautiful. One more breath. And we'll slowly roll up, pressing our feet into the earth, pressing them down as we roll up through the vertebrae, bone by bone, one by one to a nice straight position. We're going to end this with taking your hands and we're just going to do some tapping. Tapping to wake up the nerves. Let's tap our head. Tap, 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 tap. Not too hard, just so it feels good. Let's tap the back of our neck. Let's come down to the front. Do some Tarzan, tapping the front of our chest. Let's tap down one arm. Tap, 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 tap. Maybe some of these. Let's tap back across the front. Change arms. Tap, 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 tap. Maybe stroking a little bit, waking up all those nerves. Feels so good. Oh, great. Let's tap down our sides and travel down towards our knees. Tap, 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 tap. Maybe we want to go down around the front. Down the front of the leg. All the way to the foot. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Round the side of the feet. Let's go underneath. Give our feet a little massage. We have shoes on, just stop at the ankle. Let's tap up the back of the legs. Tap, tap, tap. Along the back of the thigh. Get our hips. Maybe we want to get a little tougher here. We want to use our fists. Get that fleshy part. Our lower backs, either the fingertips or the fists. Tap, 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 tap. Let's come back up and just reach around the back. Whatever we can reach back there. Tapping, tapping, tapping. Nice. Good job. Leaning back against the back of the chair. Feet flat on the floor. Resting our hands palm down or palms up. Whatever feels the best. Coming to a quiet place. Let's let our eyes gently close. Our gaze gently soften. Taking our focus back to the breath. Breathing in. Breathing out. Feeling our breath. Listening to our breath. Feeling our heartbeat. Listening to our heartbeat. Nice and straight in the chair. Loving the feeling of our feet on the floor. Our spine straight. Our shoulders dropped back. We're tall, we're full of energy, full of life. Take a couple more breaths while I reach for my guitar. I like to end my yoga sessions with a song. Here's a song I think is very appropriate. I don't know where you're listening from, but I'm here in Alberta, and it's the 5th or 6th of April, and there's lots of snow on the ground. It's been really cold, and I think we all would love to hear and sing a song about the sunshine. So here's a song called Here Comes the Sun. Please sing along with it. If you know the words, tap your toes, wiggle your fingers. And this song was written by the Beatles, by George Harrison. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, our smiles returning to our faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, I feel the ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. One more time. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. It's alright. Thank you so much for joining me today for Soul and Song, for yoga and singing. My name is Barbara, and we always end every session, every yoga session, with an old ancient Sanskrit word called Namaste. What Namaste means, it simply means that the light in me sees and honors the light in you. So I'm going to take one more big breath. Exhale down to hands at heart center. And thank you for joining today.